Mesdames et messieurs, garçons et filles, welcome back, everyone, to the IL-2 Great Battles Free French Ironman campaign. Here we are, back in PWCG with Gaston. There he is. There's our man, Pilot Officer Gaston Berthelot. Kind of looks a little bit like Renee from Hello Hello, now that I think about it. That's perfect. Anyway, previously... Actually, let's look in this pilot log. Now we've actually flown a mission. Previously, we went on a little lone wolf mission to recce the local area and get some taking off and landing practice. Unfortunately, that then turned into a bit of a dogfight with a bunch of Germans. And we crash-landed in a field next to the airfield. We did get one air victory out of it, though. We shot down a Focke-Wulf 190A8 of 1 JG6, and we killed a certain Hauptmann Volker Himmelfarb, a German captain of the Luftwaffe, while flying our Spitfire Mark 14, which is an interesting plane, which I'm going to talk about a bit more today, because I've done a bit of reading about the old Spit Mark 14. It's an interesting aeroplane. Anyway, regardless, welcome back to Deurne Airfield outside of Antwerp, under the command of Squadron Leader Emile Gallet, as part of 326 Free French Squadron. A squadron that apparently, because I've been doing a bit of reading about them, that apparently they were part of the Vichy Air Force, and they were stationed in North Africa, and they flew Dewoitin D520s, or whatever they were called, and then eventually, in like 1943 or so, they basically switched sides, joined the Allies, and were incorporated as part of the Royal Air Force and given, you know, Spitfires to fly. Which is quite interesting, actually. I'm still sticking to our backstory for Gaston, though, that he was a prisoner of war. Personally, since he's joined the squadron quite late in 1944. Let's generate a new mission, shall we? Oh, actually, hold on. Just the date. The date's moved forward. It's now the 4th of September. Well, our original mission we did was on the 1st of September. It's now the 4th. It's a few days later, apparently. Anyway, mission. Let's generate a mission. Give it a hot minute there for the old campaign generator to put its slippers on and go answer the door. There we go. Spit Mark 14, 326 Squadron at Deurne on the 4th of September, 7:30 in the morning. Oof, ugh. Barely had time to eat your croissants at that kind of time. Light cloud cover, medium altitude. Cloud layer is 2,100 meters or so. Wind speed is 4 meters a second. Wind direction is 254 degrees. Primary objective is to patrol airspace near Gille. Engage any enemy aircraft that you encounter. Assigned pilots are Squadron Leader Emile Gallet himself, Flying Officer Corentin Dupuy, Pilot Officer Gaston Berthelot, and Pilot Officer Victor Nicolas. Interesting. Alright then. A small 4-man operation. Let's have a look at the map. But the squadron leader himself is taking us out. A couple of newbies, I suppose. He wants to see what we're made of, I guess. Here's the current state of affairs. Looks like the Allied ground forces are pushing northwards this way towards Roosendaal and Breda and Gilze. And also making a push further down in the south here towards Maastricht. Interesting. And it looks like our basic plan of flight here is to take off, climb over Antwerp itself, then double back down this way, and then begin a line patrol right the way down here to where the southern Allied push is happening. Now, I'll be honest, I don't know how far we'll get into that patrol before we're disrupted by enemy aircraft, but you never know with old Pat Wilson's campaigns. We could see nothing at all. That's pretty unlikely, though, I suspect. But anyway, that's the idea. We go back down the line, and then we egress down this way, approach, and land. Seems sensible enough. It looks like the Americans are out in force again today. The 387th Bomber Group is doing a ground attack up here and near some woods, probably an enemy troops position, I would imagine. A-20B Havocs, I believe. You can fly the Havoc in this game, actually. I originally added to the game as a Lend-Lease plane to fly on the Eastern Front. I don't know whether or not you can fly American A-20Bs or even British ones, because the British used it too, on the Western Front now with PWCG, because if you can, that would be really cool, and it's something I'd love to do at some point, because the A-20 was a very cool aircraft. But anyway, what I'm really excited for, actually, is for the Battle for Normandy expansion to come out, because it includes the Mosquito, which is possibly, it's like in my top 3 favourite aeroplanes of World War II, the Mozzie. Love that thing, and it's going to be flyable in Battle for Normandy, and I can't bloody wait. Anyway, the 354 Fighter Group are out doing a ground attack as well, looks like. Looks like they're doing a rendezvous. Maybe they're escorting those bombers, I don't know. The 358th are also doing some sort of ground attack, it looks like, as well. Yeah. Supporting the troops on the ground, basically. Yeah, they're hitting something right on the front line. Interesting. All right. We, however, are going to be patrolling the skies above all of this lot. In theory, anyway. Or basically just mostly trying to hope that we can catch some German Yarboats before they can hit our ground troops, I'm sure. Right. Next, we'll go to the waypoints. Altitude in meters. 6,000 meters. This is quite high altitude, this. Interesting. Interesting. Because I was thinking about using the 150 octane fuel for our next mission, because I did some research and apparently it was available in 1944. So, however, that's more of a low altitude kind of modification, and it looks like I don't remember exactly what 6,000 meters translates to in feet, but it's quite high by our usual standards around here anyway. Most of the missions we do here are quite low altitude, so... Alright, cool. Very good. 100% fuel, 7:30 in the morning. We could adjust that if we wanted to, but I'm not going to. Next, pilots. I think we'll go with exactly what we've been assigned here. I'm going to be leading Victor Nicholas here. Looks like I'm spot number 3, so Victor will be my wingman for this. And, oh, interesting, okay. So Gaston and Victor are going to be flying Mark 9s today, and Emile Gallet and Corentin Dupuy, or Dupuy, or however you pronounce that, I don't know. Maybe get shot down just so I don't have to try and pronounce his name anymore. They're going to be flying the Mark 14s. Interesting. Mixed flight today. That's a little peculiar, but whatever. Let's give them the E-type wings, because they have the 50 cals in them and they're honestly just better. Unfortunately, that's not an option for the Mark 9s. We'll have a mirror, though. In fact, everyone gets mirrors. It'd be stupid not to have one of those. Clipped wings is a no, because we're not flying at low altitude, frankly. Merlin 70 engine, that is for high altitude stuff, the old Merlin 70, but I don't think we're like high altitude. We're not like at 10,000 meters or anything, so I still don't think that's probably worth it. We'll just go with the mirrors, and that'll do. Standard payload. Yep. Accept mission. Should now start generating, I think. Yep, it's generating the binary mission file. So, folks, I will see you back in the game itself when we begin our briefing in there, and then begin the mission and take off and stuff. Should be good. Okie dokie, welcome to the briefing screen. As you can see, it's pretty much identical to the one we've already seen. It's even got the ground arrows and everything. So, Genk. Az. Galeen. Whatever. Interesting town names. So, let's have a look at the old Spitfire Mark 9E. There it is in all its glory. The game seems to have assigned us the Pierre Klosterman skin for it, actually, which is kind of interesting. This was the LOD. with the little City of Glasgow logo on the front. This was Pierre Clostermann's Spitfire. Famous World War I French fighter race. He wrote a book called The Big Show, which is actually really, really good, and I really recommend reading it at some point if you're interested. But yeah, I guess the game's given it to us, so I'll fly it, I suppose. It's got the invasion stripes on the underneath and everything. Very nice. I like it. So, we got the mirror. And that's about all I want, I think. And the old Merlin 70 engine. Unfortunately, in-game, it doesn't tell you much at all about what it does. It's got the 150 grade fuel. But the automatic supercharger gear shifting is disabled. Stages should be manually switched at 9,000 foot altitude. And since we're doing 6,000 meters today, I might have to do that. And I don't actually know how to shift the supercharger gear. Or indeed, I don't know. I'm not sure if I'd even remember to do it. So, I'm just going to leave that alone. We're not going to have the 150 grade fuel. It's more for low altitude missions as far as I'm concerned. And the Merlin 70 engine, don't really know the deets on that enough to decide whether or not I should be using it. So, just the mirror it is. 550 cal Browning ammunition and 280 Hispano Mark II cannon shells in the wings as well. So, there's lots of paint schemes for this. Lots of them. As you can see, Clostermann's one there. Johnny Johnson's Spitfire as well. There's quite a few, including a French one, Savoy. French Tactical Reconnaissance Unit, GR2, Savoy. Dijon Longvich, late 1944. John Plagius. An American one. An Australian one. Rolf Arnberg, I think he was Norwegian, right? Pre-war Norwegian Air Force markings, which were not approved by Schaeff, and the pilot was requested to remove them in January 1945. Berg was killed by flak in this aircraft on February the 3rd, 1945. Wow. Custom. Oh, there's a whole bunch more in here as well. Ooh, although it seems to have gone a bit weird at the ends there. What's that about? Pistol packing mama. AUS. Tanky. Oh, that's a late war one, because it's got the black propeller on it. And the different wing roundels and stuff. Jinx. I don't think there's one for our squadron, unfortunately. Which is a bit of a shame. 66. 349. Yeah, that skin seems to have gone a bit wonky for some reason. There's some odd bits on it. 193. That's fine. It's actually got a squadron leader's pennant on it, that one. And of course the wonderful invasion stripes. They do look good. Biggin Hill. Oh. Interesting. Very weather-worn version of it, this one. 92 Squadron, East India Squadron. Oh, it's got the, like, Pacific Theater camouflage on it. .443 Squadron. Ooh, I like the coloured propeller. That's cool. With the B on it, I like that. 443 Squadron. Yeah, we're back up the top. Right, I'm just gonna... What do I fancy? I quite like this one, actually. This one with the B on the front, or wasp, or whatever that's meant to be. With the blue bit on the propeller. I like that, actually. I dig that. Let's go with that. Right. Accept. Probably spent way too long selecting that, but never mind. Whatever. Wait for it to just give it a second. There we go. Unpause. And Whoa, 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 whoa. Why is the... Right, I've got two questions here. One is, why is my TrackIR not working? And two, why is the aircraft in like fully throttled up right now? It shouldn't be. 1 second. Okay. We seem to be good now. It's all sorted out. Oh, TrackIR, please behave yourself, for goodness sake. Right. Thank you. Is that our cue to go? I think it is, right. Let's go, Rabbit 4. Very nice. The Mark 9's much easier to take off in. Gear up. Bit of positive elevator trim. Close the old canopy. Oh, as soon as... Yeah, there we go. You can't close it if you're going too fast, unfortunately. It's not like the old Hawker Tempest that has a winch in the bottom left to close it at high speed, or open it at high speed for that matter. I'm going to wind back the propeller pitch slightly to about 2800 RPM or so, and rejoin the first two. So Rabbit 1 and 2 are in the Spitfire 14s, and 3 and 4, myself and my wingman back there, we're in the Mark 9s. Let's just try and form up in a formation with these lads. Where's our wingman? Back there somewhere, I don't see him right now. Oh, something's on fire over there. Go back into the right now. What's that over there? Oh, am I tail end Charlie right now? Oops. God, it's a bit turbulent, isn't it? We're wobbling about all over the place. Alright, slow it down a bit. Oh, right into the sun, lads. Do we really need to do that? Thank you, returning away, good. Whew. Alright. We're officially up and away. Our formation is terrible right now, but I'm sure we'll fix that en route. Just going to go ahead and hit A, put the autopilot on. There we go, that's better. So I can take a look outside, basically. Our lovely aeroplane. Kind of odd, actually. It's like the saturation's been dialed up a smidge too much on the colours, but whatever. It's cool. Right, off we go. That's our patrol route for today. It's going to take us a little while to climb up there, so folks, I'll rejoin you later, I think. Alright, just making a right turn over Antwerp at the moment. Our formation's looking a bit better now. As you can see, still a lot of smoke down there. It's kind of weird, depending on like what angle I put the camera at. It's either like bright orange or just smoke. It's kind of strange. I don't know what's going on with the graphics, honestly. It's a little peculiar. But there's plenty of fires out there down the front line. Anyway. That brilliant morning sun on us. Not much else to say now. Well, we're in the climb still. And it affords us an interesting opportunity to see the difference between the old Mark 9 on the right and the newer Mark 14 on the left. Obviously the main difference is the Mark 14 has that more powerful Griffin engine in it, which changes its profile a little bit. It's a little uglier if you ask me, but that's all in the eye of the beholder, I suppose. Sounds like some Americans are about to attack some ground targets. And also you notice the tail's different. Basically they had to put a big tail plane, a bigger rudder on the Mark 14 to help with keeping the whole thing stable with that massive 5-bladed prop on the front. Which is one of the reasons why the thing is so squirrely on takeoff. Like, a lot of the original test pilots that flew the Mark 14 noted that it is a bastard to try and take off in. And the reshaped tail was supposed to help with that a little bit. But it's a tricky one, nevertheless. Now, there was a plan, and there was a prototype done for a contra-rotating propeller. It had 6 blades, and essentially the propeller was in 2 halves. The front half rotated one way, and the back half with the other 3 blades rotated the other way. And some very, very late prop designs did use that. But the prototype they used at the time for the Mark 14 just didn't work. It was prone to mechanical failure, so they ditched it. So they went for the 5-bladed one that goes a single direction and therefore causes you all sorts of fun issues on takeoff and landing. This thing is way, way, way easier to take off in by comparison. Luckily we're keeping up with the Mark 14s just fine, mostly because they're going quite a bit slower than their top speed would otherwise be. But yeah, apparently it was a pretty good aircraft, the Mark 14 actually. The main thing it had going for it was that it had a phenomenal rate of climb. A lot of German fighters would try and bounce them from higher altitude and then zoom away and then be very, very surprised and horrified to find the Mark 14 Spitfires climbing right up behind them to shoot them in the arse. The Mark 9 had a pretty good rate of climb for its time, but it's a bit outclassed by the old 14s up there, unfortunately. But on the bright side, we do look much prettier, and that's got to count for something, right? Anyway, not much else happening now. Looks like we've leveled out after our climb. Up here at, where did we end up in the end? 12,000 feet, looks like. Right. Now we're just got to finish off the patrol. And by finish, I mean really start. We're only just getting onto the patrol itself now. We're on the ingress still. Be back with you in a bit, folks. What's that town down there that's on fire ever so slightly? I'm not sure. Looks like Turnhout, however you pronounce it, is ever so slightly on fire. Hello, what do we got down there? I see dots. I'm making a left turn here. The squadron doesn't seem to have paid any attention to whatever those dots were, so maybe they're friendly dots. I don't know. So you can see the supercharger light is on down there, by the way, as well. It's in the auto position at the moment. Can't see anything to the right while we're in this turn, but I definitely saw some dots over there. There's some planes. I can only assume they're friendly, because they're quite easily visible and nobody else has reacted to them. Seems to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them headed towards our side of the lines. Yeah, not sure. We seem to be ignoring them for now, so fair enough. I think there might be bombers, actually. Could be our A-20s, now that I think about it. The American ones. Well, I guess for now, nothing further to report. To continue on our route. Okay, we're going quite wildly off course right now. I'm doing my best to try and keep up with the rest of the squadron who just madly banked to the right a second ago. And have dived off into the wild blue yonder. Unfortunately, there's some sun glare behind me right now. It's making it really difficult to see the guys in front through the armoured glass. There's something down there. I just saw an aircraft. I don't know what it was, though. There's some flak bursts as well. Probably keep an eye on my 6 o'clock, shouldn't I? Okay. I'm starting to really lose track of people now. What are we all doing? I see one Spitfire in front of me there. Don't know where the rest of you have got to, but... Oh, hello. Is this what we're after? See 7 contacts in total over there. Looks like 6 big ones and 1 smaller one? Difficult to say. Sneaking up behind me, I hope.
Warcraft. Patrol for ground targets on your own. Out.
These German bombers? You just can't tell from this distance.
Fighter to the northwest. Range half mile. Out. Full range 4. Engaging fighter. Get close. Out.
Banking away. Quite sharply, almost upside down. He's gone vertical. What's going on? I do not understand. Oh, hello. Somebody's shooting at someone. Bit of negative elevator trim. Picking up a lot of speed here. What do we have here? Someone's absolutely letting them rip with their guns. Anything in the mirror back there? Doesn't seem to be. What do we have here? Could be Ju-88s. No escort? It's a little curious, I gotta say. Perhaps the friendly A-20s being harassed by an enemy. One of them's definitely been damaged. However, that looks an awful lot like a Spitfire pulling away there. So what are you guys? No, these look like A-20s. They look American. Invasion stripes on the wings. Yeah, those are A-20s. So what the devil's going on?
Hold formation. Release on my command. Out.
Yeah, we can hear them over the radio right now. That's them. Release on my command.
4. Out of ammo.
That's the bombers. So where did that thing that I thought was a Spitfire get to? And for that, I have no idea where the rest of my squadron is at this point. I've totally lost them. What's that down there? What's that down there? Oh, that's the bombers. Okay, I can see shooting.
Returning to base. Out.
I can never remember what tracer colour is hue. Those are red tracers down there. Somebody picking on someone. If I had to guess... Looks like it could be a Spitfire chasing an FW-190.
Full range. Leader. Proceeding to base. Over. Copy.
Let's slot in behind and see what's going on. Don't want to steal a kill here. You are pulling away from him, aren't you?
Rapid. Full. Engaging. Fighter. To the northeast. Range half mile.
Yeah, Rabbit 4, I think that's us.
Full range. 4. Proceeding to base. Over. Copy.
What do we have
Arms
here?
away.
Yeah, it's a damaged 190. God damn it, I can shoot better than this. There we go. Got some really...
Target destroyed. Rabbit 4. Target destroyed.
Right, that sounds like a shared kill to me. That was me and Rabbit 3 both reporting the same kill.
Out. Rabbit 3. Target destroyed.
Yep. Hello there. Well, there's one 190. You'd think there'd be more, frankly, so... Yeah, don't worry about that black smoke behind us there. That's engine exhaust. Don't worry about that. Ah, it doesn't look... That's not serious, in case it looks serious. Hello. Oh, that's German. Looks like he's trailing oil or just a lot of exhaust, but... Where there's one, there's more. Where'd he go? God damn it, lost him in the armoured glass again. This happens a lot. There he is. Hope I'm not being robo-doped here. There's nobody behind me, is there? Hello, sunshine. Harder than it looks, this shooting business. Ooh, got some hits on him there. Just gonna try and dive away, that's what 190s do. Just saw the shells explode right along his wing there. Come on, you bastard. Either bail out or blow up. Which is it going to be? Get too target fixated here, but it doesn't seem to be anyone else. That doesn't mean there isn't anyone else, of course, but... That's a tough old plane he's flying there, isn't it? He's taking a lot of hits. I must be nearly out of ammo. Oh, hello. His tail's falling off. Well, that laddo's had it. He's not pulling out of that, surely. Still. It's difficult really to confirm that.
Warcraft 4. Target destroyed.
Let's keep watching.
This is Ruffman 6. Proceeding to base. Over. Ruffman. Copy.
Feel bad for him, honestly. He didn't seem like a very experienced pilot. He might have even been injured before we got to him. Uh-oh, just saw something else moving down there. Oh. I do believe that might be Rabbit 3 having a go.
2. Target destroyed.
Well, if he's going down there, I guess I'll follow him.
Full range 4. Requesting landing approach. Over. Full range 4. Roger.
Well, once this guy's dealt with, I think I'm heading home. Lost the rest of the squadron. low on ammunition. Yes, this poor guy didn't seem like a very experienced pilot. He didn't do much to try and get out of our way. Probably not from a very experienced squadron, I would guess. And to be fair, that's probably quite accurate for the period we're flying in. Towards the end of the war, the Germans had a real problem with lots of inexperienced pilots because they had nobody experienced around to teach them properly, unlike the Allies. This guy's still very much in the air, isn't he? Struggling to stay in the air, but he's in the air. I'd bail out if I were you, chump. I would have bailed out a while ago. Yeah, he's lost both of his rear stabilizers now. He's at it. Oh, no, not actually. The other one stayed on. He lost something. I saw something fly off him, but... doesn't look like he's going to recover from that. Wonder if our wingman's still around to confirm that later. Don't get too much tunnel vision. You're in enemy territory right now. Some planes up there. I assume that's the American bombers, but you never know. Boosh, there he goes. Bright red fireball. Alright. Let's head for home. Not the most exciting patrol ever, especially after that first lone wolf mission, but you know, probably a more historically accurate patrol, I'll say that much. Oh shit, who's that in front of us? Merde! Who is that? Please be friendly. That looks like a Spitfire to me. Well, whoever you are, good luck. I'm headed home. We've got virtually no ammunition left at this point. I spent a lot on those two targets. Those... if I'd had to guess, those probably the American bombers on their way home. I think I saw the wounded one out there somewhere. There he is, yeah. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to go over there and inspect him and see how he's getting on. Maybe escort him in, if we can. Lend him a hand. Yeah. It's an American on the radio there saying he's wounded. Where are we right now? Still on the German side of the lines. Not really where we want to be, frankly. What are you? My assumption was one of the American bombers, but I could be very wrong. If I didn't know better, I'd say that was a B-25 from the side profile. No, I think it's one of the A-20s. Yeah, it's the damaged A-20 we saw earlier. That thing that looked like a Spitfire but apparently wasn't was shooting at. How's this fella doing? Not very well, it looks like to me. Bleed off a bit of speed here and saddle up alongside him for a minute here. Alright, calm down, Gaston. I need to pull that hard. My American friends! My name is Gaston. I'm here to escort you to safety. Oh, Jesus Christ, nearly went to a stall then. This guy's going very slow. Not surprising, since he's probably running on one engine or something right now. He might even be gliding. Not sure. Yeah, he's on one engine. Is he going to make it home? Looks like he's going to make it over our lines at least. Good for him. Nothing out there behind us hunting the poor guy down, is there? He's a big target, and he's streaming smoke, so he's easy to spot, you know? Bonjour. My God, he's taken a beating, hasn't he? Good grief. The fact that he's still in the air is probably a testament to the aircraft, really, more than anything else. Good play in the A-20. It was flown by every Allied Air Force in the entire war, if I recall. The Russians, the British, and the Americans all flew the A-20. It's a very unsung, underappreciated aircraft of World War II. Is he trying to land somewhere? I mean, he's going to be crash landing at this rate, but... Oh, do shut up, bear horn. Doing that because I don't have my gear down and I've idled the throttle. So there's a reminder when you're on final approach to put the gear down, so... Running low on speed there, friend. Running low on a lot of things, really, by the looks of it. He's still got his bomb bay doors open. I guess they're stuck. Hopefully he's at least gotten rid of the bombs. Bit of positive elevator trim here, so I can keep nice and level with the guy. Feed in a little bit of extra throttle. I kind of want to see how things turn out for this man, honestly. I really do. I hope they land successfully, even if it's just a crash landing. I really hope they don't end up in this river in front of us. They're about to stall and drop out the sky, quite frankly. He's got a bit of a nose-up attitude right now, but then again, he's still got one engine running, so... At least for now, anyway. Look at the holes in this fella. Good God. Miss... Guam? Miss Burma? I'm not sure what that says. Got a lot of sorties painted on the front, though. Sorry, I'll get out of your way, mate. It's getting so slow now, I can't stay with him, really. Oh, no! Oh... I think he stalled out. Went down. I really hope that wasn't anything to do with me. I don't think it was. It looked like he was on the brink of falling out of the sky as it was. I mean, I was almost falling out of the sky, and I'm a little fighter. I was like 140 miles per hour there. Jesus. Oh dear. Poor bastards. I'd like to do an A-20 campaign one day. Hopefully it wouldn't end like that, but I have a feeling it probably would, actually. I know you can do an Eastern Front A-20 campaign in this, flying a Lend-Lease one for the Russians, but I don't know if there's one a career available for the Western Front. Well, got a bit of a flight ahead of me, actually, if I want to get back from here, but back I go, I suppose. No, nothing useful there. The command menu. Well, folks, for the moment, look at all that battle being done on the horizon there. Good grief. Folks, I'm going to make my way back to Antwerp. And if anything eventful happens on the way there, I'll obviously join you, but otherwise, I'll see you when we're ready to land, I guess. It's quite a view, isn't it? Look at the state of it. Market Garden hasn't even started yet. Alright folks, we're just now about to begin our approach to the airbase, although I have to admit I can't really see it right now. It's out there in front of us somewhere. Navigating back to Antwerp wasn't too hard in the end, on account of really all I had to do was just follow the large collection of smoke plumes on the horizon. But I cannot, let me see, the aerodrome from here. Ah, there it is. I can see the airstrip. Perfect. Looks like there's someone landing. They've got their navigation lights on. There's one or two people down on the ground already. I'm not sure which direction we're taking off and landing in right now, I have to admit. Don't know what the wind conditions down there are. Let's have a look. If I open the instrument panel at the bottom left here, the wind is actually coming more or less right in our face right now, so I guess we're landing this way. But it looks like that fella out in front there, he's landing in the opposite direction.
This is Warcraft 4, requesting landing approach. Over. Proceed. Warcraft 4, roger.
Sounds like an American landing. I'm going to fly over and do a circuit. That's what I'm going to do. Slow ourselves down a bit while we're at it. Do an overhead break of the field.
This is forward 2, landing. Over. Clear the runway.
That
Forward 2,
is
roger.
probably a P-47 down there. If I had to guess. Yes, indeed it is. Big old Thunderbolt, the Jug. Very cool aeroplane. Oh, and canopy open. Couple of spits on the ground already. Yeah, I should really be landing in the opposite direction of the way he came in. I'm going to land the correct way, into the wind. Let's bump our propeller pitch up to the maximum RPMs. And yeah, slow down to about 140 miles per hour before we drop the gear. Golden rule here is pitch for speed, throttle, power for descent. So let's pitch up and into this turn here to bleed off this speed. That's down to 160. Let's drop the gear now. I'm really hoping I don't make a faff of this. Landing the Spitfire is well, let's just say it's a little tricky sometimes on a good day. Landing it, not so much. More like the biggest problem, I think, is keeping it from spinning on the ground after you land it. Okay. Oh, we're going a bit fast now. So this fella's about to pull off the runway, I hope. We'll land over his head. Wonderful thing about flying a tail dragger like this is you really can't see what you're doing on the approach. The nose is in the way. I can hear him underneath me. I haven't even got the flaps down right now. We're coming in pretty darn fast. Alright, flaps out. Hope we have enough runway here, frankly. And a bounce. Maybe I should have landed in the other direction, I don't know. Oof. Dreadful landing. I do apologise, everybody. And oh, there goes the spin on the ground. Ugh. Differential brakes on the Spitfire are interesting, to say the least. So, the way it works, essentially, is it doesn't have pedal brakes, like American aircraft do, or German aircraft, for that matter. What instead you do is you pull one lever on the joystick there, the one you see that's moving, and then you push the rudder pedals in the direction you want the brakes to go. And theoretically, that helps you steer. Emphasis on theoretically, as you just saw. So I've scraped a wing there, but on the bright side, I didn't damage anything by the looks of it. Yeah, the wind is coming in pretty emphatically in that direction, so I don't think landing with a tailwind like that would have been a great idea. That windsock is brooking no arguments right now. Right. Engine off. Ugh. Right, we're home. My frame rate is terrible right now. I'm thinking of lowering the intensity settings in Pat Wilson's campaign generator, actually, because the performance is a bit dreck at the moment, unfortunately. However, we're done. We bagged 2 FW190s, and we did our best to escort a chap home, but unfortunately he crashed. So yeah, another one in the bag. First proper mission in the bag to boot. So I'll see you guys in the debriefing. Alright, there it is. Mission accomplished. Successful landing. I don't know about that. Successful. That was a dreadful landing, even by my standards. I was not prepared for how strong the wind was coming in there. It had us floating all the way down the runway. That was very interesting. To be fair, I think it's the first time in IL-2 I've ever actually landed in wind that strong. It was an interesting experience, I'll say that much. But hey, I learned something. Anyway, that's one of the things I love about IL-2, to be fair, though, is the fact that they model wind and weather quite nicely. Like, you noticed we had quite a lot of turbulence today as well. I really, really like that. It's really, really good. I played lots of Cliffs of Dover back in the day, and one thing that super annoyed me about Cliffs of Dover is that it just had virtually no weather in it at all. No wind, no cloud cover, anything like that. It was a bit naff. I've come a long way since then, though. So let's have a look at the events log. Plenty of stuff happened. So we took off. We climbed out here. We began our patrol, and then around the first waypoint is where everything went a bit mad. So we get this far out, and then that's when the formation veers off dramatically to the right, and I'm struggling to keep up. At that point, one of the Mark 14s was shot down, apparently. I don't know who that was. We'll find out when we get back in the campaign generator. Then I turned around this way, came back up here, and that's where we bagged an A6 and an A8, apparently. And my Opel Blitz truck was destroyed by, looks like a German artillery piece. That's interesting. Bit of friendly fire going on down there at Lommel. P-51s and some A-20s took out a whole bunch of enemy positions over here at this. Looks like a bridge over a stream or something, judging by the map. Then up here, some combat on the front line, M2 machine guns. Enemy howitzer. What destroyed the howitzer? A friendly 155mm howitzer. Counter battery fire, I suppose. Okay, some more combat on the ground up there. We had enemy Focke-Wulf 190 was killed, just shot down by a P-47 up there. Down here at Genk, enemy town building destroyed. Looks like the Americans were shelling the town with their howitzers. More stuff on the ground over here. Any more aerial combat of interest? Kind of doesn't really look like it, other than, unfortunately, yeah, the A-20B finally went down. Technically destroyed by an enemy Focke-Wulf 190A6, but he made it about this far before stalling out and then going down, which was really sad, honestly. Never mind, and then we flew back over here and landed. So, okay. Well, folks, I'll see you in the campaign generator. All right, we're back on the squadron screen. Let's go to mission. Let's go to combat report. And let's assess the damage, shall we? So it was assigned pilots in the end. Yeah, it was Victor Nicholas, Gaston, Emile Gallet, the squadron leader, and flying officer Corentin Dupuy. Yeah. Light cloud cover, medium altitude. The wind was 4 meters a second. I have no idea what that translates to in knots, like you use nowadays. Continue with claims. Okay, victories claimed 2, as a matter of fact. They were an A6 and an A8, I believe. Submit report. I think the first one, at the very least, was shared. In fact, they were both kind of shared, I think, really. Myself and Rabbit 3 or 4, or whichever it was, were both taking pot shots at them. Okay, start debrief. Oh, boy. I think the squadron leader was... He crashed, although he wasn't killed by the looks of it. Debrief completed. Okay, 326 Squadron, Gaston Berthelot, and a Mark 9. Well, the type for the is listed as Spitfire Mark 14, because that's what the squadron leader was flying, I guess. But it was a patrol. Theoretically, I suppose, apparently at 19,000 feet, but I don't think we really got there. Yeah, Emile Gallet. Yeah, and then us, and as Rabbit 4, Gaston Berthelot. Claim status. Near Lommel, an A6 of 1 JG-27 was brought down by Gaston. Oberleutnant, I think that means Lothar Scholl was killed in action. We were flying a Mark 9E, of course. And an A8 of 1 JG-27 was brought down. And Oberleutnant Gerhard Rehberg was killed in action as well. We lost squadron leader Emile Gallet. He's seriously wounded. And in the process, we lost 51460, his Spitfire. I'm not going to bother typing in the narrative because it would take a while. We regret to inform you that Squadron Leader Emile Gallet has been seriously injured in combat with enemy forces. He will be unavailable for an extended period of time. So somebody else will be stepping up to lead the squadron in the meantime, it looks like. And this looping piece of music in the background is starting to drive me a bit mad, actually. Yeah, there's the notification of victory. We got awarded our claims. And yeah, we lost Emil Spitfire. And notification of transfer. Warrant Officer Edmond Honor has been transferred to 326 Squadron. So we got a new guy. Interesting. Finished. Alright, there we are. Squadron looks like it's being led currently by Florentin Noel, our flight lieutenant. 50 missions and 3 victories under his belt. I've got 2 missions and 3 victories, so... yeah. We're going to be the leading ace in the squadron before long, I suspect, if we don't get killed first. Very good. Right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you next time for more of Gaston's adventures in the air in 1944 as we rapidly begin to approach Market Garden, I think. It's the 6th of September now. And, yeah. Don't know what our next mission's going to be. We'll find out next time. Au revoir, everybody. See you then.